We have a Huawei Mate 30 Pro leak, another leak. I mean, we've seen leaks. There's an event that's going to take place in Munich, Germany. A little bit, I mean, it's a little bittersweet. I'll tell you more on that in a minute, but there's an event coming up shortly, and so the leaks are kind of flooding in. You've got the display waterfall, almost waterfall looking edge to the display. There's a notch there, but apparently they're housing the more sophisticated face unlock tech in the larger notch. So here's the bittersweet component to it. Oh, I should just say real quick, it's going to have 5G modem in there, obviously. Some of the photos that have emerged showcase a emerald green color as well as like a lavender looking, they call it a cosmic purple. And the new camera layout, this circular thing that everybody seems to be going for, 4 camera modules planted in there. It's actually, I mean, you can tell, Will, it's got a nice kind of simple aesthetic going on. Fairly symmetrical on the back as well. Anyhow, just finish the specs. I'm going to finish the specs. 4,500 milliamp hour battery, 40 watt fast wired charging, 27 watt fast wireless charging, and 40 megapixel camera. So, okay, lots of action, top tier specs as you would expect from a Mate 30 Pro device. But here's the bittersweet component. Yes, the event is taking place in Germany, which is in Europe, but apparently, according to Let's Go Digital's insider source, the Mate 30 series won't be available in Europe, will not be available in markets like the UK, France, and Germany, with the alleged reason being the absence of the Google Play services and apps due to the US blacklisting. So you're going to have $1,000 premium phone, presumably, and people, I mean, likely, the speculation, if you're working at Huawei, is like, if we don't have these services, then how are we going to launch in Europe where people really want those services? People really want to use the place, or they might have thought that launch won't be worthwhile. So maybe leading up to the event in Germany, they're hoping, fingers crossed, things get sorted out to a certain degree. That doesn't happen. So now you're hosting a launch event without Google services on a flagship premium $1,000 plus device. Things are getting squirrely. They're getting weird. We're starting to see the consequences. We're starting to see the outcomes of this trade ban manifesting in a physical product and a launch and a really high profile device at that, in the form of the Mate 30 Pro set to launch. So I guess you're having a launch in Europe for a device that's really only going to sell in a big way in China. That's kind of strange, in my estimation. You would think that they're probably also planning a Chinese launch event, which would make a lot more sense for a device for that market. So it's almost like a wasted launch event, or maybe they're trying to drum up some kind of backlash, some kind of community dialogue, an uprising amongst people that are like, hey, we want this thing to get sorted out because we can't get it in Germany. We want it in Germany. The event's in Germany. I don't know. But to be clear, Germany and the UK represent, and France for that matter, those are the biggest markets in Europe for smartphones. And the fact that Huawei's not going to launch the device there is going to obviously make some people upset in those markets. We'll see if things change. That's the speculation based on the insider information available to us now. But you can get a real good look at the phone based on the leaks that exist, that are out there now. You see the colors, you see the layout, you see the spec sheet. It's all out prior to the actual event taking place. That's just 2019 with smartphones. We're seeing it all beforehand, but no Google Play.
No.
What about you, Will? Could you consider a device like this and you just go ahead and throw your own stuff on there, APKs? Could you get gritty like that? Could you get grimy in the Android space?
Yeah, I would give it a shot.
Guy like you.
It's a really nice phone.
Guy like you.
Seems like it has solid specs here.
Yeah. You're just a guy.
I would definitely use this.
You're a guy. You're at home.
I am, yes.
And you just got your APKs locked and loaded. So that's always in the comments, by the way, when we talk about this. People are like, who cares? APK, baby. Who cares? Launcher, baby.
Yeah.
Bootloader, baby. You ever seen those comments? They go exactly like that. And I mean, people are right. Look, I had an appetite for it at a certain point in my life. I'm less busy.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff might turn me on at one point in my life. APK talk.
But there is a security risk.
There's-
We can't auto update. You got to download the latest APK, and it could be a hassle.
Willie do.
Yeah.
Willie do. Security risk. Willie do. The chef. You heard it here. So be careful. But yeah, I think at a certain point in my life, I would have approached something like that. It could have even been exciting at a certain point in your life where you're like, I'm gonna be so obscure. I'm gonna be sitting here in a Western market. They tell me not to have the phone, so that's the one I want.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Like
Like don't tell me what I can and can't have.
Yeah.
And then I'll be loading Google services, and then I'll be in the APK zone, and I'll be walking around with my friends, and I'm like, yeah, I did it all. What you mean, ban?
Your phone gets hacked immediately.
Yeah, well, that might happen too.
Yeah.
But that's all part of the gig, right? That's all part of the fun.
Yeah.
Then you re-image it. You like now you're loading some next thing, and I mean that's part of fun. Kirk, you've been through a period of your life like that. Yeah, everybody had that. Everybody had that period in their life, and you learn a lot through that period. So no hate. Like, man, if you're an enthusiast and you have the time for it, you want to make it work, go for it. But it's obviously not going to be everyone, which is probably the reason why Huawei decided we're not going to bother launching in Western Europe, considering the fact that we've got this restriction in place.